It's a dull hum. Sort of a maybe a bit bassier or whatever, but I've lived in New Plymouth or in Taranaki for nearly 27 years. It's just a nice little neighbourhood. You know, the neighbours are pretty good, apart from the one, obviously, that's complaining about the noise.
The noise that Kim's neighbours are complaining about is out the back. It comes from this small enclosure and it goes a little bit like this.
Yeah, basically it's just a four-stroke lawnmower engine.
Kim's generator is part of a dispute, both big and small.
I do run it every day. More often than not, it's of an evening of between, say, 7 and 10 o'clock.
Kim is attempting to go off the grid after she fell out with her power company over unpaid bills.
It costs approximately between $20 and $30 a week in petrol, depending on how often I run it. It's roughly about the same as far as what you'd pay as if you were putting money into a power account. It's the convenience of being able to have my power when I want to have power and paying for it when I can pay for it.
But her disagreement with Contact Energy has been replaced by a stoush with her neighbours.
First complaint I heard was noise control turning up. I think it was about 9 o'clock. But it was nearly not quite 2 months after I'd first started using the generator that this occurred. I was a little bit puzzled about it myself, and then one of the neighbours came over to have a chat about said generator, and it turned out that up until he realised it was a generator, he really didn't have an issue with it. This is the generator running. As you can see, it's not that loud, and yeah, I find it hard to believe that somebody 2 sections over could find this irritating to the point of having to make multiple complaints. It's not a big racket, you know, sort of thing. It was, but we've got it down to that dull hum.
It may be a dull hum to Kim, but to her neighbour, it's deeply offensive.
He just was like, no, that generator's, it's got to be dangerous, it's got to be this, it's, you know, all these other things, and I think he thinks he's being reasonable.
Kim found her neighbour anything but reasonable when he confronted her over the generator.
I found him very threatening. Because of his size. He's a big man, and I'm a very small woman. And he attempted to stop me from walking away when I found his manner threatening by standing in front of me.
Thanks to the neighbours' complaints, Kim has now added noise control to her list of objectors.
It seems to be down to everybody's personal opinion of what excessive noise actually is. And 2 officers said to them it seemed okay. One officer at a different point in time deemed it excessive and gave me an excessive noise notice.
This $400 generator just got a whole lot more expensive. And while Kim's attempts to stick it to the man haven't saved her much money, her rebellion is front-page news in the Naki.
Since going public, I've had lots of support from the community at large. I was donated these bricks to contribute to the soundproofing of my generator. It's a product that's an aerated brick. It is very dense and soundproof, and I believe it'll help reduce the noise even further.
Along with her soundproofing efforts, Kim's been showering over at a friend's place to save on hot water and reduce the need for her generator. But none of these measures appear to have satisfied the council, which has put Kim on notice.
All I'm doing is trying to supply my own power. I would chain myself to the generator if someone tried to take it.
Since filming, Kim's generator has been confiscated by the New Plymouth District Council. She plans to appeal her noise abatement notices and is now powering her home via a connection to her car battery.
All it is a generator in the backyard. It's not a massive piece of machinery that can blow half the neighbourhood sky high or